Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 5, text 16. Jnanena tutad ajnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham aditya vajnanam prakashati tatparam. Translation and purport. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Purport. Those who have forgotten Krishna must certainly be bewildered, but those who are in Krishna consciousness are not bewildered at all. It's stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvam Jnana Plavena Jnana Agni Sarva Karmani and Nahi Jnanena Sadasham. 3 different verses. Knowledge is always highly esteemed. And what is that knowledge? Perfect knowledge is achieved when one surrenders unto Krishna, as is said in the 7th chapter, 19th verse. Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. After passing through many births, when one, perfect in knowledge, surrenders unto Krishna, or when one attains Krishna consciousness, then everything is revealed to him as everything is revealed by the sun in the daytime. The living entity is bewildered in so many ways. For instance, when he unceremoniously thinks himself God, he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. If a living entity is God, then how can he become bewildered by nescience? Does God become bewildered by nescience? If so, then nescience or Satan is greater than God. Real knowledge can be obtained from a person who is in perfect Krishna consciousness. Therefore, one has to seek out such a bona fide spiritual master and under him learn what Krishna consciousness is. For Krishna consciousness will certainly drive away all nescience as the sun drives away darkness. Even though a person may be in full knowledge that he is not this body but he is transcendental to the body, he still may not be able to discriminate between the soul and the super soul. However, he can know everything well if he cares to take shelter of the perfect, bona fide, Krishna conscious spiritual master. One can know God and one's relationship with God only when one actually meets a representative of God. A representative of God never claims that he is God. Although he is paid all the respect ordinarily paid to God because he has knowledge of God, one has to learn the distinction between God and the living entity. Lord Sri Krishna therefore stated in the 2nd chapter 2:12 that every living being is individual and that the Lord also is individual. They were all individuals in the past, they are individuals in the present. They will continue to be individuals in the future, even after liberation. At night we see everything as one in darkness, but in day, when the sun is up, we see everything in its real identity. Identity with individuality in spiritual life is real knowledge. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaura Vani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyadi Pashyata Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jnanena tu tada jnanam yesham nashitam atmanah tesham aditya vajnanam prakashyati tatparam. When, however, one is enlightened with the knowledge by which nescience is destroyed, then his knowledge reveals everything as the sun lights up everything in the daytime. Human society, mass of the people, they're generally in a confused state. Confused because they don't understand what to do People are simply acting out of their desire, what I want to do. I want to study, I want to become an astronaut, I want to whatever, then they do that. Actually, they don't have knowledge. No one has knowledge. There are people within society who are called yogis. Yogis, they endeavor for a higher material goal. Yogis are not on the same platform. They endeavor for a transcendental goal. They are seeking jnana. They are seeking knowledge. But now, what is the definition of jnana? What is the meaning? Many times it says knowledge. But now, if you actually analyze, what is knowledge? Knowledge is when we go to college, we study and we get knowledge. Is that knowledge? Is this jnana? It is not that jnana. Actually, there's no word in English. But jnana, in this verse, and what we are referring to, that people who are seeking a transcendental level, they seek jnana. They are seeking realization. They are seeking a deeper vision that I am not this body. Because they realize that yes, we are suffering, yes, we are confused, but it has something to do with this body. They understand. They understand. So what they are seeking is a realization that I am not the body. This is jnana. In Gita, when you say jnana, when it says jnana, it's not knowledge like someone is giving you knowledge. I'm taking knowledge from you. Tell me something. Tell me, Guru, give me jnana. Okay, I'll tell you here. You got it. I'm speaking. It's manifesting in the heart. Divya Gyan Hriday Prakashito. It's manifesting in the heart, and there are ways how to get it. We're looking at that. But the yogi seeks this Gyan. He seeks that realization that I'm not the body, because he understands my suffering is from the body. So he's trying to come to that platform beyond the body, beyond material level. This is seeking Gyan. This is the Gyan they're speaking about here. Vision, realization that we are different. This light is less. No? So now, this much Gyan yogis got, that this body is a source of suffering. This material nature, material world is a source of suffering. This much Gyan they got, means this much realization. So, they are seeking now to rise above the body level. They are seeking to rise above this material level. It can happen. We don't have to go anywhere. Rise above means you're going there. No, you can be here. But you get Gyan means that you are not, that realization that I'm not this body. So then they are called yogis, because yogis, they have a higher destination, you can say higher goal than the normal people in the world. That's why they call yogis. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, when he begins his instruction, the instruction of Bhagavad Gita is to take Arjun to level of Gyan, knowledge, which he doesn't have now. He was in confusion. So mass of society is in confusion. They're in such a confusion that they're so confused that they don't understand they're confused. That is the problem. No one realizes. Actually realizing that means we got Gyan. We realize. And we are seeking. Because who's seeking? No one is seeking. So Arjun, what he went through, we are going through. Everyone goes through. But he got Gyan, he got knowledge from Krishna. Mass of people, they don't seek the knowledge. They're thinking, I'm suffering, let me adjust my material situation like this, like that. I'll change my PG. I'll change my job. I'll change my country. I'll change my line. I'll change. So, okay, trying to stop the suffering. But that is not the way. Arjuna understood that overcoming the suffering meant that I have to come on a higher level. So then Krishna gave this knowledge, that realization. So in beginning he begins to speak the knowledge, and it's verse number chapter 2 text 15 when first the concept of a transcendental level is introduced. There Krishna tells Arjuna, Yam hi na vyatanti ete purusham purusharshava sama dukkham sukham dhiram samritatvaya kalpate. That this material world is full of happiness and sadness. The person who is not affected by it, samritatvaya kalpate. He is suitable for liberation. Now, everyone has heard that we shouldn't be affected by sadness. But Gita is saying, don't be affected by happiness also. Why? Actually, this happiness we're discussing is the material happiness. So, material happiness is not happiness. It's bewilderment. It's a problem. One is because it's not really happiness. That's one thing. Another thing is because that happiness is making us suffer. Many times Gita says that happiness is suffering. So don't be bewildered by even material happiness, what to speak of sadness. So one who is living in this world, he is not affected by that happiness, he is not affected by the sadness, he is just doing his duty. That is a yogi. Samrit tatvaya kalpate, he is suitable for liberation. Amrit. Mrit is death. Amrit is deathless. He can become deathless. I mean, he is going beyond that level. So then Krishna goes on to explain, give that knowledge by which you can come above this level of this material world and this material body. Samrit tatvaya kalpate. But who cannot be affected? Who cannot be affected by the happiness and sadness? One who has the happiness within. Otherwise you cannot, there's some like Buddhists, will not be affected, suddenly, the spring, you push it and then poof, comes, but then it becomes too much. It's over desires and lust is much more than other people. That's not the way. Crushing. The way is that param drishtva nivartate. Actually, we have to be experiencing that happiness. We have to experience it. Only then, what's going on out, I don't care. Otherwise, I'm very concerned with what's outside, who I'm living, where I'm living. I'm very concerned. But if we are relishing within, then we're not concerned. I say many times I give this example, that I meet people because then I travel to different countries. So do you like India? Or do you like Kenya? Or do you like this country? Where do you like? Then I told them, there's no question of liking, because wherever I go, I do the same thing. I have the same schedule. What am I going to like? Same food, same Mangalarti, same clothes, same tilak. What is different? Actually, nothing is different. I told them, it's a different life. We are not like that. We are not supposed to be seeing externally. Of course, I don't like cold places. That's a fact. Because I'm not on that level fully. But who cannot be affected by external? He is a yogi. That's how we are. I'm not a yogi. I'm trying to be. So we have to come on that level. We have to come on this level to not be affected. So now, I mentioned that the yogi begins to practice yoga. Why? He's looking for jnana. Because he got initial jnana. Initial jnana means something is not right. Something is not right. They are not thinking, we have neighbors downstairs. They don't think anything. They think this world is going on okay. They put their music and their TV so loud. They're okay, going on, But a yogi, why does he take the path of yoga? He's thinking something is wrong. What is it? I don't know what it is, but something is not wrong. Then he begins to search. He'll begin to search. Arjuna was searching. He reached that path. It's called reaching the end of material life. You reach the end. Okay, there's nothing here. Now where will I find it? Only few will come to seek to a spiritual path. Actually, in Vedic culture, they'll do that. Otherwise, in materialistic culture, it's very sad. They reach the end of material life, then they start to become, very perverted and find other ways of happiness beyond our normal culture, orthodox. they start strange practices and habits to get that happiness more and more. Actually, that's come here also. Or they turn to intoxication because they cannot take this world as it is. So intoxication, let me forget it. And that's the problem with our youth today. They couldn't come to this point. So now the yogi, he chose the path because initially he understood through initial jnana, some knowledge that this is wrong, this is not right. Let me seek a higher situation. So he starts to seek that realization. And such a person means he cannot anymore enjoy. Why? Why can't he enjoy this material world? Like I said, our neighbors are all enjoying. But we get some people coming here, they said, we can't enjoy. So what happened is, their consciousness came up little bit higher. That much higher to realize that this is material, this is spirit. And that much higher to realize this material world is suffering. Now no one can cheat me, I know that. Now the question is where to find the happiness. Because I will not find it in this matter material. So now where to get it? That's the question. That's the beginning of human life, seeking. We begin to seek it. So how did they get that jnana? Initial jnana, how? Many ways. One way is Bahunam Janmanam. After many births of enjoying, then they're born, they say, I'm fed up of this. I'm fed up. Just taking many births, that's one way. Another way is somehow you come in contact. Somehow you come in contact with some spiritual people. Because we came in contact with them, we got little of their spiritual rasa. And that little spiritual rasa has elevated us. So when one elevates higher, then they cannot anymore connect on the material level. It's not possible. So one way is they contacted spiritual energy through a devotee or through a devotional experience of kirtan or prasadam maybe. Or maybe not this life, maybe past life. Hare Krishna. Everything. So they got jnana. They got a detachment from because of that knowledge, they got detachment from matter. So that's one. Or that they took many births. A third way is suffering. Actually, suffering is very good for giving jnana. Because when we suffer, we see the real side of material energy. Not that artificial, fake side that, oh, it's so nice, everything is nice. If it's nice, why are people suffering? There are wars going on, right now in the world. People are literally sitting, waiting to be bombed, and they can't go, they've been blocked. There are wars going on, if you're following news. So, suffering gives jnana in the sense that we are exposed to the real face of Maya, of this material world. Otherwise, people are bewildered. I'll enjoy, they have hope. I'll do it. They couldn't do it. I have a plan. They don't know. I know. So far it didn't work, but I have this plan, that. It'll work. It will work. Give me time. This plan is coming, this one. So, they did not see the real side. It's just like you have a friend and you're very friendly. One day that friend gets very angry and speaks very badly to you. And then the relation goes. Can you be friends? No. Why did you speak to me like that? No, that was a joke. Not a joke. So similarly, in this material world, we are seeing a very harsh side. And again, we cannot say, now I am going to enjoy. No, that suffering is in the mind, and you cannot forget it. You can't forget it. So, similar, I'll give you an example. Not so much in India, you have Vedic culture, remains of it. It cushions a lot from Maya. But say in the West, there's so many, I don't know how to put it nicely, crazy people walking around. Not normal. You can't find normal. They all have issues, some issues. Because the life is so harsh. And they cannot resolve it with their philosophy. When we're born in Vedic culture, we can resolve it, my karma, this or that. But in the West, wow, why am I suffering? I meant to enjoy, goal of life is enjoy, I cannot enjoy, then they literally go mad. So these people, some of them went through such a suffering that they can't enjoy. They can't enjoy. They cannot now, they're not even like normal family life or job, because they're so traumatized. Either they were in a war, or they experienced some crime, or they were brought up in such abusive situation when they're young. So anyway, the point is that such people cannot live a normal life now. They're a little bit on the fringe of society. So now, because of that, Gyan comes. Actually, suffering gives Gyan. As Arjun got, Arjun's Gyan was that I have a duty to fight, and I'm here on this battlefield. Now my family is there. Why am I in this situation? What shall I do? Shall I fight them or not? And this confusion. And then he realized that I am in this material world, but now my family is in front of me. Some of them are ready to kill me. What kind of relation is this? Human nature, everything broke down, whatever is in his mind. So then the question is, why is it like this? What is the reality actually? So Krishna spoke it. So now my point here is, who takes up the path of yoga? So I mentioned three. One is who takes many births. After many, many births, punascharvita charvananam. Prahlad Maharaj says, he's chewing already what he's chewed. I can't do this again. He cannot understand why, but he has some inclination that this has become, there's a word in English, hackneyed. Same thing I'm doing every time. Okay, that's one. Second, we said that he came in contact with some spiritual energy through prasad or devotee, or he does welfare activity, and someone came who was a devotee. So now that's not welfare, that is bhakti. He served the devotee by accident. So he got a benefit like that. Or third is great suffering. In great suffering, we see the material energy for what it is, not the that illusionary side that it's going to give me happiness. So then, such people, they're on a different level on this material world. They are not so strongly identifying with body and this material world, because they don't want to have anything to do with it. They're looking for a higher level, a spiritual level. So now Bhagavad Gita explained. So who is Bhagavad Gita for? For these people. Prabhupada says in the introduction to Bhagavad Gita, who is the Bhagavad Gita for? In that paragraph, just one paragraph, he explained that there are many people roaming around in this world, taking birth in higher planet, a lower planet, in this body, different species. Out of many of them, some of them begin to question. Why am I born? Why am I suffering? And Prabhupada said, Bhagavad Gita is for them. Bhagavad Gita is for them. Bhagavad Gita is not for the sense enjoyer. Krishna says that after giving the conclusion of Gita. He said, na tapaskaya. This should not be explained to someone who is not austere, who is not faithful. He'll blaspheme, he'll suffer. Therefore we also have ninth offense to the holy name. We'll not explain about Krishna, about the holy name of God to someone who is not austere, not seeking on a path of yoga, not inclined, some idea like that. Yeah. He'll blaspheme, he'll put himself in difficulty, and the person who's speaking, even when we hear something bad about Krishna or Bhakti or Gita, our Bhakti also goes. Therefore we are meant to leave that place. So then Bhagavad Gita gives, okay, so someone is on path of yoga, seeking Gyan. And what did we say is Gyan? Not really knowledge like in this sense, but deeper vision, realization that I am not this body, I am not in this world. Because the yogi realizes my path to happiness and peace is to not identify with the body. The yogi realizes that. So now that's as a yogi. He begins to come above the path of, above the material level. So now once we start on that level, Bhagavad Gita introduces three paths. We can come on the yoga path through karma. We can come on the yoga path through the path of Gyan. We can, Jnani, Yogi, and there's a Karmi, Yogi, and actually a Bhakta. Okay, because, okay, we can say Gyan also. Normally 3 are there. So Gyan, Karma, Yoga. Yoga means the asanas. And then we have the Bhakta. Okay, so let's look at these 4 paths. So through these 4 paths, one can come on the transcendental level. So we may think, so there are 4 paths. I can either choose karma, some say. That means, karma in the sense, in that let me do my prescribed duty, get a result, with that I give it up to Krishna and come on a level. So I must do my karma. I must do my work. Some think like that. Some think I'll come by yoga, process of mystic yoga, asana, all that. Others, Jnana Yoga. Jnana Yoga means I simply get all the books and start reading, trying to understand with my brain, trying to form a picture of God with my own intelligence. 4th, Bhakti. Someone may think this is all different paths, but Bhagavad Gita says no. Acharya says it's not like that. There are steps, there are different levels of yoga realization. Just picture this scenario, because now, before the Vedic culture was in place, to come to the Bhakti path, you have to take lifetimes. So it's like this, that in Bhagavad Gita gives this cycle in chapter 3. Saha yagya praja sishtva. That in the beginning, the Supreme, he brought the jivas who turned away from him. No, we don't want to serve Krishna, we don't want to serve you. Okay, you come here, live out your dream here. And here, take the Vedas, that these Vedas will help you to live nicely here, and it will help you elevate and come back to me. So what do? Karma kand. Karma kand means they'll try to enjoy this body, enjoy this world through the Veda. Veda says enjoy like this. You want to get a good birth, do this yagya. You want to go to that planet, do this yagya. Not like now, we work 12 hours for money. There, you do this yagya, you get the money. You chant this mantra, you do this vrata, you get everything was in the Vedas. Eshato isto ashta kama dhuk. This Veda will be the kama dhuk, the wish fulfilling cow. It will give everything to you. It's still there, but no one wants to read the Veda. That's the problem. They think, I'm going to do this and that. You read the Veda, you'll get it, So, karma kand. Now, these people are doing karma kand, they're doing it. After some time, they're thinking, as it says in Gita, Tetam bhuktva sarga lokam vishalam, shini punya marta lokam vishanti. They do the yagya, they go, they enjoy next birth in a heavenly planet. There, lots of apsaras, then nectar, somarasa, they enjoy, but they come back down. Then they go up and down. And they go up and down, they start to think, I'm just going up and down. They get fed up of this enjoyment, that's one. Either that, or they're studying the Karma Kand Shastra and studying, now who is this doing this? How is it I'm able to go up and down? Who's in charge of this system? So in this case, they start to think, no, there's something beyond this. So actually Karma Kand is not spiritual level, but after that is Karma Yoga. So then they begin to think, let me not try to enjoy, let me come out of this. This is Karma Yoga. I'll do my duties to come out. This is Karma Yoga. But they're still attached to work. So they continue doing Karma Yoga, and it may take lifetimes. Then the Jnana increases, the realization. I'm a soul, I'm not of this world. This increases more and more. So Karma Yoga increases. After some time, they're doing karma, they're doing their work, they're getting the result, giving everything for a spiritual cause. Still they don't know about the personality of God. But they're thinking, I will serve with the results of my karma. After some time they're thinking, why am I working? Because everything I'm giving away. So then they come to jnana. Jnana means they give up work. They just meditate. They're just meditating, jnana yoga. So then now, for that jnana now, they're doing a different they got higher jnana. So a high level of jnana is that now they're meditating, studying about the Brahman, mostly Upanishads, Vedanta, Sutra. Upanishads explain all this. So they come to this level of jnana. Now after some time, one who is jnanavan, really in knowledge, Krishna says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanavan mam prapadyate. Then they actually come to the personality of God. But again, one thing is, instead of doing jnana, they may come to the yoga path. Some will go to the path of yoga, and they'll do all these different things that to become detached from the body level. But the point is, when they increase, they must come to bhakti level. That is a natural progression. So these yoga paths, they are not independent. They are steps. Bhagavad Gita is very clear that the bhakti path is highest. One who has higher jnana begins in bhakti. And there's a verse even in Srimad Bhagavatam where Devahuti is speaking to Kapila, transcendental son, Krishna's incarnation. Ahopata shapachoto garyan yajivagre vartate nama tubhyam. She's saying that, oh, how glorious are those who are chanting your name. They already did everything in the past life. Yajivagre vartate nama tubhyam. Tapas tepus. They did all kind of austerities. People do austerities for advance. They did tapas tepus, Brahmanuchur. They studied the Vedas. They took bath in all the holy places, rivers, Kund, Yanama Vivashogrinan. Anyway, I can't remember the whole. But they did all those things. So actually, when one begins bhakti, the bhakti path it's a higher level. But even if someone did not do that, supposing someone did not do all these things, but he got bhakti path through mercy of someone, the benefit he gets will be the same and higher than all the other paths, because it contains all the other paths. Now, this is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, that there are different ways of getting knowledge and realization. So, Krishna says at the end of chapter 1 to 6, highest way of getting it is through bhakti. Highest way is bhakti. Now, why is that? Let's look at one reason for that. Now, one reason is, how would you define someone who's spiritual? How will you define a spiritual person? One or two words, one or two sentences. No, if you meet someone, you're thinking, oh, spiritual person. What would you say? No.
It means that face is glowing.
Okay, he's saying glowing face. Supposing he's not got tilak, dhoti, nothing. Okay. So, now you're saying, huh? Glowing. Now, glowing means, glowing means, you see, face is index of the mind. The fact that face is glowing means his mind is very clear, he's very peaceful and relishing some happiness, isn't it? Can we say that? Happy? Spiritual person is happy? Okay. Now, who is happy? Who is happy? Either all his desires are fulfilled. That's one. Other, he doesn't care about desires to be fulfilled, isn't it? Otherwise, what are most people? The desires are there, I cannot fulfill them, I'm so miserable, isn't it? Brahmabhuta prasanatma na shochati nyakankshati. One who comes on the spiritual platform does not desire anything and does not lament that why do I have this or why do I not have this. So why is a devotee happy? No desire. No desire. Or desires are there but he's ignoring them. I'm not going to listen. Whatever mind is giving the desire, he's ignoring them. That is a verse in Gita says that we should be like that. Many rivers are entering into the sea. Sea is not agitated and trying to come on increasing. It's not disturbed. Every second, every single river on this planet is entering the ocean, but it's not crossing its level. So in that way, all the desires are coming and we are not at all thinking, entertaining them. They'll keep coming till death, they'll come. The desires will come, but we ignore. So that's a spiritual person. So now let's look at the different spiritualists. Karma yoga. Karma yoga is still attached to work. He has desires, a karmi. Okay? Yogi, one who is on the path of yoga. Why did he choose that path? Actually, the yogi, through the path of yoga, we get ashtasiddhi, we get powers. They're very keen to get those powers. And of course, to come off of the body platform. They have a desire, you see. They can never be fully peaceful. Yogi. Jnani. Jnani means one who's worshipping impersonal form of God, thinking that I'll merge into the God and I'll forget this cycle of birth and death. Actually, till one level, we are the same. A Jnani and a Bhakta, till a certain level, they're the same philosophy. But towards the end, that last part is different. That they're thinking, yes, I'll go above this, I'll come out of this cycle of birth and death. It's this body suffering, this material world is suffering. Let me come out of the cycle. Let me merge into the spiritual light, Brahma Jyoti. That's what Jnanis think. That's their desire. They have a desire. They have a desire. Their desire is to come out of this material world, come out of the cycle of birth and death. So desire is there. How can you be happy fully? Isn't it? Desire. I have to merge into God. I have to come out of this. Yogis have a desire. The Karamis have a desire. Jnanis have a desire. What's desire for a devotee? Huh? The devotees are desireless. Now we may say, oh, you have desire. I want to be a devotee. I want to serve Krishna. That's not my desire. That is Krishna's desire. He wrote in Gita and I'm following. Actually, devotees don't have desire in that way. We don't desire to stop birth and death. We don't desire to merge anywhere. We don't desire anything. We simply engage in what Krishna tells us. Instruction, we understand this instruction is coming down through parampara, through guru or guru's representative, and we're just doing it, and that's our happiness. That we are able to serve. Of course, we want to serve and get a result. But if the result doesn't come, Krishna's will, He's supreme, I'll continue serving. Only a devotee's desire less. Only a devotee is happy. This is the highest yogi. Others are not really yoga. We are saying yoga. They do take you above, but you'll never really get free. They're in anxiety to succeed in their way. But a devotee, his success is I'm serving. I'm a servant. What about liberation? Depends on him. And what about advancement? Depends on him. There's one quote of Srila Prabhupada. He says, actually we don't care about going to Goloka, we don't care about liberation. We care that we fulfill the order of the 6 Goswamis and propagate their mission everywhere. 6 Goswamis, our acharyas. They, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Rupa Goswami has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the order of Lord Chaitanya. That is one shloka. So we are just keen to assist him in that mission. Liberation, Gyan, nothing, whatever it is, we are simply serving. But because we are serving a higher mission, we are following a high authority, we will get Gyan, we will get liberation, we will get everything. But devotee doesn't hanker after that. He realizes that I got knowledge. Somehow I got knowledge. Someone gave me knowledge. Maybe a devotee, Sri Guru, gave me knowledge. By this knowledge, I found that I have to serve God. This is my identity. So let me follow it. So I'm following it. That is success. I've gone back to my original position. Now out of gratefulness, he is serving. That I have to repay. Sri Guru has liberated me. Janme Janme Prabhu said. Sri Guru saved me. So I'm going to do that. Liberation, Gyan, that is okay, that will be good if we get it. So, actually this is a verse, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi Kami Sakale Ashant Krishna Bhakta Nishkam Ataeva Shant. He said, Bhukti Mukti Siddhi. Bhukti means a sense enjoyer. Bhukti, Mukti, one who is seeking liberation, Jnani, impersonalist. Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, the yogi, one Siddha. Siddhi, Kami, Sakale, Ashant, they are not happy. Krishna Bhakta Nishkam, but the devotee has no desire. I'm simply fulfilling the orders as a servant. And Prabhupada actually says in one purport of Bhagavad Gita that he said, "My sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chetasa." In that verse, he says in the first sentence, actually this bhakti is like in a military. We are just like a military command. We are carrying it out without question. That the order of Krishna, Guru is this, and we are doing it without thinking, I have this, what about this, and my desire, and whatever, Of course, we have to take care of our body, and so that we are healthy and eat properly and live and whatever, and But why? So we can fulfill the order. Not so that I'm healthy, then I can enjoy in this material world. No, our aim is, let me be healthy, let me be everything okay in my life, so I can fulfill the order of Sri Guru. So Prabhupada says in that purport, just like in a military discipline, that order is given and we are fulfilling. So in this way we understand that the bhakti is the highest path. So someone who begins to search, who comes above and he's on the path of yoga now, that for him the best path is to take up bhakti. This is the best path. But any other path is not really yoga. It's not, because you never become free from desires. Hare Krishna. We never really become free. They are always in anxiety. A devotee is free from anxiety. Devotee is peaceful. So therefore I asked you that how to recognize a spiritual person. Glowing face, no desire, peaceful. We always say this, that here we're in Bangalore, sometimes we drive, we go, mostly we'll drive to Salem or some other. As we come out of the city, enter the village, you just see the faces are different. They're very different faces. The people in the village, their face is so peaceful, serene. And you come into Bangalore, you cannot realize you're living here. And if you go out and come back, you see people's faces like, I'm exaggerating, but it's like, and some no, all, but not so much, but these are the faces. Others are like,
you see in the office?
Yeah, no, office you see. When we see in the bus stop, you pass the bus stop, either they're coming from work or going. Anyway, what to do? Kali Yuga, we're in such a situation. But why is that? Because of desires are not fulfilled. But actually the problem is, also explain these people that life is not to fulfill your desire. Don't worry about it. Forget it. Now the modern life, they increase your desire. Even though I don't have desire, I came from village. Then okay, buy this, do that, go here, do this, buy that. And now I have to buy it, I have to go here, I have to get that. But I cannot do it. Morose. Everyone must get a phone, everyone must get a girlfriend, everyone must get a motorcycle, everyone must get a, I don't know what is the latest. And we cannot do, then we become morose. Now the problem is that the advertising, they push it, then I have to get it, but I cannot get it, and this is the problem. So anyway, spiritual means ignore. You don't cultivate material desires. You satisfy desire of Krishna. And that we'll do, you can do that. This other one you cannot do. So devotee will be happy because he doesn't have those desires. His desires are being fulfilled. Actually, Krishna says he'll fulfill desires of a devotee, his own devotee, even though they don't want it. So the process of bhakti gives one actual desirelessness and happiness. So now with bhakti you have to understand, there has to be a bhakta, bhokta. Bhakti does not mean impersonal. There has to be a person to serve. You cannot serve nothing. Serve the void. Serve the light. How will you serve the light? Serve the energy. Where is it? It's everywhere. Everywhere. Everywhere and nowhere. So therefore, there are, in the Vedas, there is a path of impersonalism. It is there. And mostly we could say majority of people are impersonalists. They study the Upanishads, absolutely is described in a personal way, and they reach a level of realization. They also become in a level, some level of happiness. They reach it, but not the same as a devotee. And so Krishna asked Arjuna, which is the better way to worship you, personal or impersonal? Krishna answers, yes, I have an impersonal form. It's pervading everywhere. But klesho adhikatarastesham avyakta saktachitasam. One who's worshipping my impersonal form, klesha means suffering. That's also suffering. Material life is suffering. Then he comes on this path, that's also suffering. It's difficult. Because he said that avyakta, anyway, the second part of the verse is that for the embodied person, we are personalists. To relate with God as they have a vir avapyate. Those who are possessing a material body, in other words, conditioned souls, it's very hard to worship, to connect on an impersonal level. Because I'm saying you're a person, he's a person. I want to be with people. And God is not a person. Oh, now how do I relate with him? But now, we are a person, I'm a person, and the Supreme Person is here. And we can also relate with him and pray like I'm praying to him. It's so natural. It's so natural. It's very easy. So Krishna says it's very difficult. So when we speak of bhakti, there has to be a personality. So when we say highest yogi is one who is a bhakta, is a devotee, then necessarily he accepts the form of God. A form, transcendental, spiritual. But what is the root cause here? People don't accept the person. I know once I mentioned to some of you that the appearance of Bhagavad Gita, not last one, the one before the last. We took a picture. Some devotees went book distribution, and that morning, I think 10 in a row like this. We took a picture and put it on our Facebook page. It went around. Somehow Brahma Kumaris saw it, who are just 2 streets behind us, our old center. So they called us, please come and give a talk on Bhagavad Gita. I said, okay, but there's some difference in our philosophy. Doesn't matter, please come. Okay. So I came with another devotee, we sat down, and they probably prepared everyone before I came. Supreme is impersonal because why? Because if he has a body, how can he be supreme? I have a body. See, this body becomes old, it gets indigestion, it gets sick. So if you have a body, how can you be a supreme person? They prepared. I said, okay, okay. So then I got up, then we had to present. I presented, yes, Supreme has a body not like yours. Ajosanapi ave atma bhutanam prakritim swamadhisthaya sambhavami atma mayaya. I appear in my spiritual form. He has a spiritual form. Angani yasya sakalendriya vritti manti. All his senses can do the functions of each of the senses. He can eat with his eyes. He is not limited. And his form is all pervading. It's a body, but not like mine. I'm here, but I'm not there. But he's everywhere. Then you understand that the Supreme, his body is different. It's spiritual. So this is why they got this wrong. They're rejecting form and things because they suffered so much in material and with different people like this. So they just want to, let me just close my eyes and forget and see nothing. I don't want to see people. I don't want to see roads, families, houses. I don't want to see anything. That is Brahma Jyoti, nothing, void, blank. That's not the solution. That's not the solution because you will not be happy like that. Jiva, we have to have interaction with people. We will not have it in a material way, we should have it in a spiritual way. But not that forget everything. No, that's not. Prabhupada gives example. You go to a doctor. Doctor, I have a problem in my eye. Okay, remove it. No, that's not a doctor. That's not a doctor. So you go to a spiritualist. I'm having this and that problem. You have to void. Forget your body. Remove your body. Merge into the light and come out of all this variegatedness. That's not a proper instruction. We have a problem, solve the problem. Don't remove it completely. That's not the solution. So, this is the misunderstanding. People who are impersonalists. And this purport of this verse goes now deep explaining about personal form here, like we are saying about surrendering, because we talked in the beginning about Gyan, how to get Gyan, how to get knowledge, how to get realization that I'm not this body. And because I realized I'm suffering. So I want to stop suffering, I want to come on a spiritual level. How to get it? So different paths, but Bhakti is supreme. Why? Because Bhakti is actually, the Bhakta actually desireless. He's simply acting on the level of the soul. Bhakti means soul serving super soul. Soul is serving God. That is Bhakti, simply. That's not a function of the body. It's a function of the soul. So what the Jnanis, other people, impersonalists, they study Vedas to get that knowledge, deep knowledge, study. Bhakta simply, what they do, they begin to serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While serving, they get realization that I'm serving the Supreme. I'm a servant of the Supreme. I'm a soul, because Bhakti is on the level of soul. So then they automatically get everything others get, automatically. But Krishna picks them up, like he'll advance them personally. Not that now for the yogis, everyone, they have to be very careful. They have to be in pure sattva gun. They have to be very careful what they eat, what they, For example, we had someone come here. He was he was on Jnana Yoga path from a Brahmin background. He was practicing that system. He could not eat salt, chili. He said we had to be very careful on sattvic platform in our sleeping, eating. Actually, no one is doing it properly, but this is the way you should be done. Very careful. Then he's surprised, you people, you're eating all these things. How is it possible? And he said, actually, we are not advancing ourselves. Krishna is advancing. We'll cook something, offer it. Krishna, it becomes spiritual, and we take it and we become spiritualized. Yeah, of course, we tend to not go towards so much Rajasic and Tamasic, but generally speaking, not as much as them. So, now for Bhakta, so someone to take Bhakti, you have to understand there has to be a personal form of God, and that form of God is supreme. He cannot be covered by any Maya or anything. So here in the purport is explained, because anyone on the spiritual path, this diversion comes. Personal, impersonal. So now here it says that one who surrenders to Krishna, everything is revealed to him. All the knowledge is revealed. Okay? Now, for instance, when the jiva, it says here, unceremoniously thinks himself God, he actually falls into the last snare of nescience. Maya bewilders us in many ways. The final, you can say, knockout punch of Maya is when you think, I realize actually I am God. I am supreme. There are some people, they go on the beach and sit and watch the sunshine. Then they go home at sunrise. Today I lifted up the sun. They're watching the sun. I realized I made the sunrise. They say like that. And they'll sit and meditate and realize that I'm controlling everything. Everything is in me. So this is Maya. Because this person, he'll get indigestion and go take a medicine. Then what can you remove your stool? You cannot do it. So that is a reality. So therefore, the last snare of Maya is made you to think, and then you can understand this person is fully gone now. Of course, through mercy or devotee, everything can be undone. So does God become bewildered by nescience? It said, okay, I'm God, but I forgot. I'm covered. Now I have to unforget it. Because you're God, you got covered by Maya. That means Maya is greater than you. Better we worship Maya because he covered you. How can you be covered by Maya? So therefore, this whole purpose is explaining this point. Because one on the path of Bhakti, there are a lot of pitfalls. You can be diverted. And so Prabhupada, he's revealing about Krishna, but in the small books, he's refuting so many of these points which can catch us on the way. We should be very careful. The path of Bhakti, Durgam hi pathas tat kavayo vadanti. It's a difficult path in one way. In one way it's difficult. Difficult in the sense we have to deal with the mind. That's not an easy thing. And so many snares. But for one who wants to get to the spiritual level and in a simple way, completely, we have to take the path of bhakti. And the path of bhakti now means, in this age, because in every yuga the prescription is given. In this path, in this age, it means chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chant Maha Mantra, read Bhagavad Gita every day. Bhagavad Gita as it is, study, take prasadam, attend satsang, slowly get idea how we can come out of this. Get idea how we are trapped. And this is the only path to happiness, coming out of these material forces. Hare Krishna. Any question?
I saw many people, they are not into spiritual path.
Yes.
But I see them like happy sitting there.
Yeah. Those who are not on the spiritual path.
Yes.
Okay, that happiness is like the happiness of a drunkard. Have you seen someone who took a lot of drugs or drank alcohol? They are very happy, you see them. But actually they are not happy. They are just put in a state now where they are detached from reality, what is going on. These people cannot realize due to Maya that one day I'm going to die, my body, money, everything will go. That's not the real happiness. And also if you watch them long enough, you will wait that sadness will come. But not for a devotee, isn't it? Devotees, samadukham sukham dhiram. He's happiness, sadness, he's the same, not affected. So this happiness you're talking, that material happiness, it's temporary and it's very kshanik, little, and it's shallow, not so much. In the second, you can get into depression or anger. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. All glories to those who came in the rain just to hear Bhagavad Gita.